Pack your bags and we'll take you around the world and back and inspire you to explore. We'll take you for a holiday to St. Moritz, Mount Everest, the Himalayan Glaciers and Mount Cook, when Explore takes you to some of the highest places on Earth in high altitude. Our first high-altitude destination is Switzerland's St. Moritz. Found on the south side of the Alps in the Engadine Valley at almost 2,000 metres above sea level, St. Moritz has long been known as a fantasy land for the rich and famous. Surrounded by scenery including Mount Bernina, the highest mountain in the Eastern Alps, and having an absolutely stunning lake in its midst, St. Moritz has fascinated and delighted visitors for more than 3,000 years. And while what first attracted visitors were the healing mineral springs, today travellers come for some of the best skiing and winter events on the planet. One of the top events in Switzerland is the Cartier Polo World Cup on snow. Held every January, 4 teams from various countries compete on the frozen St. Moritz Lake for the coveted championship title. The famous event regularly attracts between 10 and 15,000 spectators, and if it looks like the kind of thing you'd enjoy, make sure you're in St. Moritz in January. For those people who like to gamble at high altitudes, be aware that the stakes here are even higher. Considered a playground for the rich and famous, placing bets on the many different sporting events is like breathing air to the people who visit here. The frozen St. Moritz Lake is definitely the meeting point for jet-setters and horse racing enthusiasts from around the world. On the first 3 Sundays of February, the event known as White Turf is the centre of attention. For 3 days, over 25,000 visitors flock to St. Moritz to watch animals and jockeys take horse racing to the extreme by battling it out on the frozen lake. St. Moritz attracts the big spenders and the big names, and more than half of them don't even go there to ski. The Swiss do love to take full advantage of their winter wonderland, and their skiing is world class. You can ski or you can watch other people ski. It's the perfect winter getaway. If you're really in the mood to try something different, break out your dark-coloured golf balls and play a round of winter golf on the snow-covered course. Whether it's skiing, snowboarding, tobogganing or playing golf, there is something for everyone at St. Moritz. Here's some information that might be helpful if you're planning a trip to the exclusive hideaway. Peak season in St. Moritz runs from December to March, and the local currency is the Swiss franc. The majestic Himalayas are a traveller's paradise, stretching across China, India, Nepal and Pakistan, and bordered by Tibet to the north. These great mountains are unrivaled in size, area and diversity anywhere on Earth. You'll see scenery that is simply breathtaking as you enjoy the natural surroundings with cascading waterfalls, lush green forest and shimmering lakes. It's a magic place where the magnificence of the world's highest mountains is mirrored in the rugged beauty and unique scenery. Once closed off to tourists, much of the Himalayas and its culture have been fiercely guarded, but guided tours are now very popular with travellers. You can take a tour to Mana village, the last human habitation point on the India-Tibet border in the Himalayas. Mana is also the base point to start your journey to the local caves and bridges in the surrounding areas. A quaint, mystic place hanging by the clouds in a picturesque setting, Mana village has the charm to win the hearts of its visitors. Thousands of people visit the Himalayas each year to experience the wonder and the beauty of the mountains, from the elaborate carved terraces to the jagged snow-capped peaks. Add to this stunning high mountain scenery a rich culture and friendly, welcoming people, and you'll appreciate why one visit to the Himalayas is never enough. If you're an adventure sports buff, then the Himalayas in India is the perfect destination. It hosts some of the major adventure sports like trekking, river rafting, mountaineering and skiing, and is ideal for people with diverse interests. The Indian Himalayas is not just an area for mountaineers, as hikers also have a huge range of contrasting routes to choose from with varying altitudes and terrain. If you want to undertake a demanding trek of up to 14 days in some of the most remote and beautiful scenery on Earth, here is your destination. For each person that visits, the Himalayas have some different meaning. For some, it's a spiritual centre. For some, it's a thrilling experience. For some, it's the ultimate adventure sport destination. And for some, it's just a holiday. It is the perfect holiday destination for nature lovers, as its exotic beauty mesmerises everyone. You'll feel as though you've stepped into another world when you visit, and that is the mark of a perfect holiday. With some modern amenities like coffee bars and shops, this may just be the perfect high-altitude vacation for you. If you want to visit the Himalayas, most trekking is enjoyed between April and June and September and November. Make sure you pack for a temperate climate and have the local currency, the Indian rupee, on hand. What could be more exhilarating than standing at the top of the tallest mountain in the world? At 8,844 metres high, Mount Everest is the ultimate in high-altitude holidaying. Climbing this peak has long been the pinnacle achievement for experienced mountaineers worldwide. It belongs to the Himalayan mountain range situated between Nepal and China, and the magnificent snow-covered peaks are a natural wonder in anyone's book. If you want to try and climb the world's tallest mountain, there are a few things needed to be done. In the 12 months leading up to the climb, you're going to have to be in fantastic physical shape. Fitness won't fend off altitude sickness, but will enable more oxygen to reach your body. Climbers will also spend a couple of weeks in base camp, acclimatising to the altitude. To help people on their climb are Sherpas, Nepalese locals who are employed as guides for mountaineering expeditions in the Himalayas. They are highly regarded as experts in mountaineering, as well as having good physical endurance and resilience to high altitude conditions. Everest is permanently covered in a layer of ice topped with snow. In January, the coldest month, the summit temperature averages -36°C and can drop as low as -60. In July, the warmest month, the average temperature is a slightly warmer -19. So if you'd prefer to be sunbathing on a tropical island somewhere, this isn't the place for you. While it's a popular attraction for tourists, keep in mind the dangers that are associated with climbing Mount Everest. Above 7,000 metres, the air on Everest contains only a third of oxygen compared to that at sea level. This results in an increased chance of hypothermia and frostbite. Sir Edmund Hillary and his Sherpa guide Tenzing Norgay were the first humans to climb Mount Everest and return safely. They reached the top at 11:30 a.m. on the 29th of May 1953 and became a part of history. They spent only about 15 minutes at the summit looking for evidence of the earlier Mallory expedition. When they returned, New Zealand-born Edmund was even knighted for his achievement. Mount Everest truly is a majestic beauty and one of the world's most famous landmarks. The Sherpas hang flags to symbolise good luck to fellow climbers that begin the treacherous journey up to the world's highest peak and back down again. If a trip to Mount Everest is your idea of a great holiday destination, make sure you try and organise your trip during June and July, when the freezing temperatures are a little warmer than usual. And in all your excitement at reaching the top, don't forget to take in the stunning views. A small principality bordered by Switzerland to its west and by Austria to its east, Liechtenstein is not only a haven for the rich, but a beautiful country surrounded by some of the world's most beautiful mountains. Attracting many visitors from all over the world, this country is probably best known for its amazing ski runs and its family-friendly atmosphere. Despite being one of the smallest countries in the world, it offers great skiing at Melbourne, Liechtenstein's only ski resort village. With a ski and snowboard school, terrain for everyone from beginners to advanced skiers, and a cross-country course nearby, Melbourne is the premier ski resort of Liechtenstein, and buses travel throughout the day from the capital Vaduz, 15 kilometres away. Modern ski lifts, one with heated seats and windbreakers and a double T-bar lift, will bring you and your family up to 2,000 metres elevation. Just don't look down. Liechtenstein is the ideal destination for a family ski holiday, and the excellently prepared slopes of Melbourne offer ideal skiing and carving conditions for young and old. With its perfect size and minimal traffic, Melbourne won't let even the smallest members of the family get lost. The mountains of Liechtenstein are perfect for skiing and snowboarding. As well as 2 ski schools, Melbourne has good runs for the novice skier and more difficult ones for the experienced. It's a family-friendly environment and perfect to spend quality time together, whether it be on the slopes, tobogganing, or hiking up in the mountains. Family-oriented activities are often planned through the resort, so take time to check it out. And if you want to leave the kids behind and do some skiing on your own, you can do that too. Your children can attend snowboard classes at the resort's ski school, or childcare centres are available. Make sure you exchange your currency for the Swiss franc so you can purchase a pass for the ski lifts. The snow-topped views are breathtaking, and after spending the day on the slopes, the scenery will take your breath away. The cold will help do that also. If Liechtenstein is your ideal winter wonderland, peak season runs from November to April. Liechtenstein has cold, cloudy winters with frequent snow and rain, so make sure you pack for cold weather. Here's a unique way of visiting Antarctica without feeling cold. This is a truly unique travel adventure and has been described as the greatest single-day travel experience. To get to the southernmost place of the planet, a Qantas 747 passes over Australia's island state of Tasmania, and in less than 3 hours, the first icebergs appear. You will see an awe-inspiring panorama of the bluest oceans imaginable, vast rugged cliffs, sweeping mountain ranges, glaciers and great expanses of ice, as you witness the best of what Antarctica has to offer, all from the safety and comfort of a plane. There are between 16 and 18 different route options to choose from, and the highly experienced flight crew choose the best flight path depending on the day's weather conditions. With prices ranging from $899 to $5,199 Australian dollars, you too can fly over icebergs and coastal cliffs from the comfort of a Boeing 747. A typical flight departs Sydney or Melbourne and takes approximately 4 hours to reach the South Magnetic Pole. It then descends over spectacular sea ice and icebergs, crossing the Antarctic coast near the French research base. From there, the aircraft flies a low and slow figure-8 over glaciers and ice fields so that passengers on both sides of the plane get the same incredible views. The altitude of the aircraft is about 3,000 metres, approximately 600 metres above the highest ground. You'll be in the plane for around 12 hours, and on board you'll enjoy the traditional Qantas service, including 2 meals, a mid-flight snack and a complimentary bar service. Be sure to pay notice when flying over the rugged cliffs of the Antarctica mainland, and pay close attention when flying over the historic Mawson's Hut at Commonwealth Bay. A truly original getaway idea, this high-altitude trip is one for people of all ages, although the price might deter you from taking younger children. Every Antarctica adventure is a total package that begins the moment the aircraft leaves the ground. Every passenger receives an Antarctica information kit, and a research scientist is on board to answer questions about this majestic region. We hope you enjoyed your flight. As we descend from this high altitude, here's some information that you can use on your one-day sightseeing flights to Antarctica. The trips are only available through Australian airline Qantas and are only available once a year, so book now. No visit to New Zealand would be complete without experiencing the country's highest peak, Mount Cook. Also known as Aoraki, this dazzling mountain soars to 3,654 metres. Mount Cook is at the centre of New Zealand's Great Alpine Park. Snow-capped year-round, the mountain can be ascended by experienced climbers and skiers, as well as viewed from the air. It's a popular tourist destination and often attracts keen athletes who want the challenge of skiing down its steep slopes or experiencing the gruelling climb to the top. New Zealand's tallest mountain even helped Sir Edmund Hillary to develop his climbing skills in preparation for the conquest of Everest. If you enjoy thrill-seeking, follow in the footsteps of these high-altitude adrenaline junkies. In 2004, 3 elite skiers became the first athletes to complete a ski descent of Mount Cook. Set in harsh landscape of ice and rock, it's treacherous on the way down, and the peaks are an ongoing challenge to professional adventurers. Here, the adventurous skier has to move among sharp mountains and huge glaciers. If you're feeling really brave, try heli skiing. A helicopter sets you down high in the mountain as you glide down a white and magical landscape. If you ever are skiing on Mount Cook, be sure to watch out for crevasses and be careful of the melting ice. Mount Cook is a skier's paradise, and if you want to visit, head down and book a flight. Flying is the easiest way to get to New Zealand, and peak season runs from July to October. Fill your pockets with the New Zealand dollar and make sure to pay attention to the majestic views. Mammoth Mountain is a world-class ski resort located in Central California, just outside of Yosemite National Park. With a 945-metre vertical drop, 150 trails and 30 lifts, Mammoth Mountain is an outdoor enthusiast's paradise. With an extended ski season that typically runs from November through to June, Mammoth Mountain is a great ski destination for those who want months of top California ski conditions. More than 3,500 skiable acres feature a wide variety of 150 different ski trails. And with ski lifts situated throughout the premises, it's never too difficult to get where you need to be quickly. Snowboarding and skiing are by far the most popular activities at Mammoth, and with a lift capacity of 50,000 rides per hour, it's obvious that Mammoth Mountain is one of the country's most popular ski resorts. Advanced skiers will thrive in the large open spaces, but even if you've never skied before, you can still join in the fun with the help of Mammoth ski and snowboarding schools and gentle beginners trails. While it is possible to cover the entire mountain in one day, there are so many good runs that most people pick a general area and stay in it. Beginners have the choice of roughly 25% of the trails, while those more advanced are allocated 40%. The ski season at Mammoth Resort is renowned for its length, often opening in early November and running right through to June. The best conditions are to be had around January, when the snow is at its thickest and most powdery. About a 6-hour drive from Los Angeles, Mammoth Mountain is almost as large as Aspen, but a bit more difficult to find. After a hard afternoon hitting the slopes, what could be better than to sit in front of a fire with a nice hot chocolate at one of the many different cafes situated at different runs on the mountain? Snowboarders have free run of all trails, plus 3 all-level terrain parks with 3 half-pipes. The resort's longest snowboard stretch at 5 kilometres is a rush in every sense of the word. And if snowboarding or skiing isn't your thing, you can rent snowmobiles. But keep in mind that you must be over 16 to drive one, and helmets are mandatory. If you have the experience, a self-guided snowmobile tour is a great way to enjoy the sights, with 2-hour, half-day or full days available. Perfect for the kids is tobogganing. It's a fun and safe way for them to enjoy themselves. If Mammoth Mountain looks like your ideal holiday spot, peak season runs from November to June, and you'll need US dollars. We hope you enjoyed your high-altitude journey. Make sure you join us next time for another expedition on Explore.